What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Errol the Truth Spence. Get this, Errol Spence Jr. update from Mike Coppinger. Okay, Errol Spence Jr. suffered a retinal detachment slash break. Nevada State Athletic Commission's Bob Bennett tells ESPN. The injury was found upon reviewing the exam conducted by Dr. Thomas F. Kelly on August 9th. Dr. Kelly determined Spence was unfit to compete in the scheduled title bout against Manny Pacquiao. Okay. Now, first off, I hope Errol Spence recovers well enough to, first of all, see, fight, maintain, manage that eye, okay? I wish him well. I wish him the best on the recovery issue. Now, I do have a counterpunch, right? This was as of, 8 hours ago? Okay, because I know it's 11 o'clock here in Central Time. The only problem I have with this is that was August 9th. August 10th, Errol Spence says, I came back from worse. He said August 10th also that went to 3 different doctors, all said the same thing. I'll be back for the winter for sure. I was taught to get through and keep going. And this is what I have to say about this. If he had and people knew what the difference was. And we got a crash course in the difference between a tear and a detachment. A detached retina and a torn retina. We had a crash course. A torn retina, okay, that's like part of a wallpaper in your eye is like came down or got damaged, and they have to put it up and it has to heal. It takes less time than a detached. A detached is when damn near the whole thing is fallen and you have to put it up, and it takes more time. Shout out to Abner Mates for coming on The Boxing Voice and really educating people on how it works. And it was a great analogy on how the wallpaper of your eye, you need that to see for the reflection, all that, optic stuff. Okay. Now, the thing is, this was on Errol Spence Jr.'s account, and according to Bob Bennett, a detachment slash break. Like, if it was a detachment, you would think that you would say that first. Okay, not now, like 8 days later. Okay, that happened on the 10th. It's like the 18th now. Really, actually, that was on the 9th. Okay, so, go figure. You're looking at a guy that had damage to his eye. Okay, he had damage to his eye. But at this point, it's like, okay, now, hey, it was worse than we thought it was. Well, he had the surgery already. So if he had the surgery already, why is he just now coming out with now it was a detachment? Now, you could say, well, maybe he didn't want people to worry. Maybe he didn't want to let it out. But that doesn't make sense because he just let it out. You know what I mean? And it's just strange to me, like you would come out with this, according to Bob Bennett, telling ESPN that he suffered a retinal detachment slash break. It was just break. Like, I don't know. It just seems like to me you would have said that first. That's the strange thing. If he had a detached retina, that's what we should have heard from jump. Not, hey, he had a torn retina. And then later on, oh, hey, it was actually a detachment. Well, you should have said that first. And that should have been common knowledge then. Okay, then that would have really shut guys like Bernard Hopkins up or guys like that, because now it'll take longer. But understand this, if he had this surgery already, because if you notice, okay, I want people to understand something. he had his surgery on the 10th or 11th, right? Because I mean, we didn't know when. I don't know, honestly, when he had it. Okay. I just know 6 days ago he had a damn patch on his eye, August 12th. Right? In August 12th, this is what Errol Spence had to say. He said, hold on, let me find it for you. Has a successful emergency. Okay, this is August 12th. And it says, back in no time, Errol Spence Jr. has a successful emergency surgery on torn retina as he is left with a Band-Aid covering the eye. And of course, you guys remember seeing this picture, okay? You remember seeing this picture. What the hell? I hate that. Remember seeing this picture, right? Now, this picture, I didn't see the Adidas until someone showed it, hey, the Adidas was flipped. Well, in this picture, it didn't even show that. Now, at that point, he said Errol Spence's had successful emergency surgery on torn retina as he is left with a Band-Aid covering the eye. Torn retina, not a detached retina. That's two different things. You know what I mean? That's two different things. So I don't know. I mean, if it's torn, if it's detached, I think he would have said that first. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he was just as ignorant as we all were, But the important thing is he's going to make it. But I just think me counterpunching it shouldn't be like an overkill. Okay, because it seems like to me you're trying to make it worse than it really was. Because if you're going to be back in no time, that totally contradicts what happened to Sugar Ray Leonard and what happened to Abner Mares. Abner Mares ain't been back in the ring for a long time. Because he said it on the Boxing Voice. Yo, it takes a long time for this shit to heal. Right? So is it torn or is it detached? Okay? That's the thing. Now, if it was new information that he just cared to share, it just makes me wonder, why did he care to share it now? Because it's like, that's something you would have shared with us. Yo, it was detached. But again, maybe Errol Spence didn't want people to worry. So he did just say tear. But then you have to understand what took place. Once Errol Spence stated, hey, and the news broke out about his eye and he had to pull out, a lot of people, well, certain people question, like, okay, is this real or not? You just all of a sudden jump out of this fight. Okay, then, some back and forth happened. And then all of a sudden, well, hey, actually it wasn't torn. It was torn / detached. That detached is a word to make it more serious than it probably is, based on a guy that says, I'll be back in no time or I'll be back for the winter. How the hell you know that? You never had a detached retina, let alone a torn. But if it's detached, it's going to take longer, according to people that went through the same thing. So it sounds kind of fishy, but in either way, I hope it heals whatever the hell is wrong with Errol Spence. You guys tell me what you think about Errol Spence detached retina. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.